Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's complicated divorce process. Shiloh, the daughter of top stars Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, decided to drop the last name Pitt from her name. On May 27, she turned 18 years old, and it seems that this is the moment she has been waiting for as an adult. Over a decade together, Pitt and Jolie have 6 children. Shiloh is one of their biological children, in addition to the twins. The other 3 are adopted, namely Maddox, Pax, and Zahara. Besides Shiloh, Zahara also introduced herself with only her mother's last name at an event at Spelman College. "My name is Zahara Marley Jolie," she said in November 2023 when she had just joined the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Shiloh and Zahara's sister Vivienne also removed Pitt's name. She works as a production assistant on a Broadway show The Outsiders produced by Jolie. She listed her name as Vivienne Jolie in the program book for the musical. Maddox, who is 22 years old and the oldest child, no longer has Pitt's name behind his name. Of the other 3 children, only Shiloh is willing to hire a lawyer to remove Pitt's name. She wants to change her name from Shiloh Nouveau Jolie Pitt to Shiloh Jolie. Her actions show that she does not want to have a relationship with Pitt. Pitt and Jolie are still fighting in court over child custody and property. What's going on that their children are reluctant to use Pitt's last name? This time we will break down the family problems of the celebrity couple Brangelina. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Pitt and Jolie first met in the summer of 2004 while filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They played a couple who worked as hitmen assigned to kill each other. At the time, Jolie already had adopted son, Madan Chivan, with her ex-husband, Billy Bob Thornton. They got married in Las Vegas on May 5, 2000, which caught the public's attention because of the huge age difference. Later, they became known as a passionate and eccentric couple. Suddenly, in July 2002, Jolie sued Thornton for divorce. While Pitt already has a wife, Jennifer Aniston, whom he has been married to since 2002. Aniston filed for divorce against Pitt in January 2005. The divorce was made official in October 2005. In the midst of Pitt's divorce from Aniston, Pitt's relationship with Jolie was controversial. Moreover, when the two were seen vacationing together in Kenya with Maddox 1 month after Pitt's divorce from Aniston, the incident led the public to speculate that it was Jolie who destroyed Pitt and Aniston's household. 1 month later, Jolie dismissed rumors of their relationship. She told Marie Claire, "To be close to a married man is something I couldn't possibly do because my own father cheated on my mother and I can't forgive him." Although Jolie has given a statement, fans of Pitt and his ex-wife were further angry when Pitt and Jolie's W magazine cover was published. The reason is, fans know Pitt and Jolie did the cover shoot in March. Amid the backlash, Jolie reportedly adopted a 6-month-old baby girl from Ethiopia, Zahara Marley. A few months after Pitt and Aniston officially divorced, Jolie announced to People magazine in early January 2006 about the pregnancy of her first child with Pitt. This announcement took the public by surprise. Jolie had previously stated that she never planned to have biological children. Thus, while she was still Thornton's wife, they took Maddox from Cambodia in 2002. Jolie explained how her relationship with Pitt changed her perspective on children. Whatever the reason, it's clear that Jolie is deeply in love with Pitt. Their first biological child, Shiloh, was born in Namibia on July 27, 2006. At that time, Jolie's 2 adopted children, Maddox and Zahara, were legally renamed Jolie Pitt. 1 year later, the couple adopted a boy who they named Pax Jolie Pitt. In May 2008, Jolie and Pitt announced the pregnancy of their twins. In July 2008, twins Knox and Vivienne were born in France. Not only Jolie, Pitt also succeeded in taking the hearts of Jolie's children. On the encouragement of the children, Pitt and Jolie decided to get engaged in April 2012. 2 years later, they got married at one of their mansions in Chateau Miraval, Corrèze, France on August 14th. The traumatic event in their family happened on September 14, 2016. They were about to fly back to Los Angeles from Chateau Miraval. Pitt mentally and physically abused for the first time the children, who were between 18 and 15 years old. Pitt's aggressive behavior was done before they went to the airport. He confronted one of the children. When they got on the plane, Jolie approached him and asked him what happened. Pitt accused her of spoiling the kids too much and verbally attacked her. An hour and a half later, Pitt told Jolie to meet him at the back of the plane. He pushed Jolie into the bathroom while yelling at her. He was physically abusive and hit the wall of the airplane several times. When Jolie exited, Her children approached in worry. One of their children tried to protect Jolie. Pitt became even angrier, lunging at his own son's body. Jolie hugged him to her body from behind, trying to stop him. Jolie's efforts were in vain. She was pushed by Pitt into the airplane seat, injuring her back and elbow. Pitt continued to be brutally violent, choking his son and punching his other son. Everyone was terrified. The children started crying and begging Pitt to stop the action. Jolie and her 6 children could not go anywhere to avoid Pitt's wrath. All they could do was sit terrified under a blanket, hoping the plane would land soon. No one even dared to go to the bathroom. An emotional Pitt would appear suddenly, shouting and cursing at his own wife and children. Not only that, he also poured beer and wine over the heads of Jolie and her frightened children. A few hours later, Pitt fell asleep. Jolie and the children could breathe a little easier, although they still had to be careful. When the plane arrived, Jolie told Pitt that she and the children were going to a hotel. Pitt once again verbally and physically abused Jolie. The children, who had been warned by their mother not to interfere, could only remain silent with their bodies shaking in fear. 20 minutes Jolie and the children were prevented from getting off the plane. One of the children, who could not bear to see his mother, begged Pitt, "Don't hurt her." They were finally allowed to go to the hotel while being cursed at by Pitt. "Wall," he said. 5 days later, on September 19, 2016, Jolie filed for divorce from Pitt. This news made big headlines and of course caught the attention of many people, especially after it was discovered that the causes were conflicts with children, temper tantrums, and substance abuse. This divorce news has been linked to a beautiful French actress, Marion Cotillard. She and Pitt had played a movie together in England in 2012, Allied. According to Page 6, Jolie even hired a private detective to investigate Pitt's relationship with Cotillard. As a result, it is true that Pitt is in the middle of metayunia. Pitt also often parties like a single man and likes to take drugs. But a source confirmed Pitt and Cotillard have no special relationship, according to several sources to TMZ. Jolie was sick of Pitt's habit of being addicted to marijuana and alcohol. It caused anger issues that could harm their children. Jolie also doesn't like the parenting methods Pitt gives the children. Jolie does not want to have joint physical custody, but she asked the judge for Pitt's visitation rights. According to a former employee, about statements he overheard that Ms. Jolie made to the children, encouraging them to avoid spending time with Mr. Pitt during custody visits. After the plane incident in 2016, Pitt began investigating allegations of child abuse by the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services. However, he was cleared of the charges in November 2016. The FBI, which handled the case due to the international scope of the flight, closed the investigation without charges in November 2016. Although Maddox also testified in Jolie's defense, saying that Pitt was drunk when the incident occurred. These decisions are obviously unfair to Jolie and her traumatized children. Jolie and Pitt are required to undergo self-counseling as well as attend family counseling with the children. Pitt also had to undergo random drug and alcohol tests. However, their divorce proceedings didn't stop there. Jolie, represented by a famous lawyer, Laura Wasser, not only asked for full physical custody of the children, but she also asked for their winery property in France. To get full physical custody, Jolie didn't even ask Pitt for alimony. In June 2018, Pitt and Jolie reached an agreement on temporary custody for the summer of 2018. The court saw that having contact with the father would not be detrimental to the children. Apparently, Jolie agreed to this agreement because it was accompanied by a psychologist. In November 2018, both Jolie and Pitt failed to agree on a new custody trial. The psychologist's supervised visits will end, and the children will have the right to visit their father's home. In April 2019, Pitt and Jolie were considered single in the eyes of the law, even though their divorce proceedings were still ongoing. In October 2019, a dispute over the property at Chateau Miraval began. Jolie for the first time requested the property in whole. Jolie's team attempted to buy Pitt's remaining shares, but Pitt asked Jolie to sign a non-disclosure agreement that would have contractually prohibited her from speaking outside of court about Pitt's physical and emotional abuse of her and their children. Of course, Jolie refused. Before Jolie could make another offer, Pitt walked away from the deal. The child custody trial resumed in September 2020. Pitt requested 50-50 legal and physical custody, but Jolie did not agree to these terms. Maddox returned to court to testify in March 2021. His testimony was more damaging to Pitt, so Jolie was accused of using the children so that she could win in court. Moreover, the claims made by Jolie have never been proven when reviewed, especially regarding incidents of domestic violence. In May 2021, the judge handling Pitt and Jolie's divorce case refused to hear evidence from the children. The judge ruled that Pitt and Jolie should share time with the children. With this decision, Jolie was very disappointed. She plans to appeal the arrangement. The court case over child custody and the Chateau Miraval property continues until we hear Shiloh's decision to remove her father's name expressly. On April 4, 2024, documents stating Pitt's abusive behavior had occurred long before the 2016 incident. But the airplane incident was the first time Pitt attacked his children, both physically and mentally.